Hello, my beautiful followers. How is everyone doing today? It is a fantastic day here. It has been a really amazing day. I got to move forward on a couple projects. Really excited for some things coming your way. So you have some things to really look forward to for me and my coaching page. So anyway, it has been a great day. But yesterday I was having a conversation with somebody that had actually nothing to do with romantic relationships or child relationships or friendships or anything like that. It actually was a very coaching kind of conversation. And someone asked me, they're like, well, when you were a therapist, there's kind of an oath you take that says like you do no harm, right? And I said, yes, there is an ethics board and you have to agree that you're not going to do any harm to your clients. And so then we were talking about coaches and what's harmful and what's not harmful. And I got thinking about relationships because I have a lot of my clients right now that are pointing fingers and doing this blame game. And I actually had one client that looked at me and said, he meant to hurt me. He did this on purpose. He hurt me on purpose. And I remember looking at this client and I said, he has been married to you for a long time. Do you really think he's purposely trying to screw you over? Do you really think he has this horrible intent towards you? And if that is the case, then why are you still here? Why are you still in the relationship? Why are you hanging strong if you believe that he has this horrible intent? And then I came into this topic of like, do no harm. What does that even mean? And is that really a reality? Can any of us promise to do no harm? The fact is, no, we can't. We are always doing harm. And then I think we need to pull apart really, what is harm? So I think we are always going to, in relationship, bounce off of each other's shiz. We just are. We're going to bounce off of each other's trauma and wounding, and many times we don't even realize we're doing it. We oftentimes do not realize we're bouncing off of somebody's wounds. A lot of times we say something, our tonality is a certain way, and somebody receives it in a particular way, and that actually will stir it, creates this drama and trauma, and we're gonna call it harm, this harm. And while I would like to say, the fact is we get to choose our reactions, and that sounds very great, and that sounds beautiful and amazing, and you should choose your reaction, okay? But I also want to get real here, and the fact is, sometimes people's actions do have a reaction. Sometimes people can do things in their lives that do impact us. And I think we sometimes, in our desire to make people own their part, a lot of times we forget that we do have a ripple effect. Our energy has a ripple effect. The things we say have a ripple effect. The actions we choose to take actually do ripple out to other people. And I think sometimes in the spiritual world, we forget that. We want to go, no, it's none of my, I am only responsible for my emotions. If I punch somebody else in the face, if they're in pain, that is their emotion. But the fact is, if you punch somebody in the face, that action has a reaction. And so we do have to take accountability for that. But this idea of do no harm in relationships is a complicated one because we are always going to be bouncing off of each other's stuff. And I don't think it's a matter of do no harm. I think it really is that we want to limit our harm. I think the true goal is not to do no harm because that is an expectation that we can't meet. And what is harmful to me is going to be different than what is harmful to you. And truthfully, taking responsibility for ourselves, at some level, at a great level in truth, we are responsible for how we allow another person's energy their actions, all of that to ripple out in our own lives. We have to be energetically proactive and have this energy hygiene, and even hygiene in our own lives to not let somebody else crumble our world. But I think there is also this idea we need to it's a very aspirational goal, but we have to really reach to do our best to do no harm and to live from this space of love. And when we feel like somebody has wronged us, and I hear that all the time from my clients, like, they did me wrong. I'm like, okay. You know, really thinking like, do you really believe that about this person? Do you believe they're trying to get you? Do you believe they're trying to do something negative? And I think for ourselves, it really is to check our egos. I think when we're in relationship, we really have to check our ego and check, like, am I really in a heart-centered space here? Am I wanting to really connect with this person? Am I just needing to set boundaries for myself? Because guess what? Like, at the end of the day, like, we have to take care of ourselves. But also we can still acknowledge, okay, my boundaries are creating this situation, whatever that situation is, that is impacting that other person. And we can still feel into that and still acknowledge that with the other person. I think especially, and right now we're not talking about big breakups or massive arguments. I think we're talking about these little things that oftentimes get brought up in relationship. You know, like particularly that client, and I don't want to go into too much detail because I try to keep client confidentiality, but he just happened to miss a date, a time that they had set up, and it truly was an accident. And she went into, well, he meant to do this. He was trying to hurt me. He knew this was important to me. And so as we unswirled that, she's like, no, I know, like, he doesn't actually want to hurt me. And so I think in these moments where we want to point fingers, where we want to blame, where we want to be like, they tried to hurt me, we really need to check ourselves and go, are they really trying to hurt us in this pattern? And so checking yourself on that, and then also owning the fact that your actions, your energy, what you are doing does ripple out to others. Are you responsible for everybody's emotions and feelings and actions? No, you are not. You are not. However, you do need to recognize that when we're in relationship, we do impact each other. We have a massive impact on each other, especially the closer you get in relationships. So when we're talking romantic partners, your actions will have a reaction. And so when we're in relationship, it really is to attempt to do the least harm possible. But sometimes, actually, when we are triggering somebody else, when we're stirring their shit, it is incredibly actually helpful for the relationship. It gives a space for that relationship to grow. I love when I get my couples clients in here and they say to me, we've never had an argument. And I'm like, ooh, that's not good for the relationship. If you've never had an argument with your partner, then that is not a good sign for the relationship. That shows that most likely, and I'm not going to say this is true for 100% of couples, but most likely someone is not being authentic, someone is avoiding conflict, someone is not speaking their truth. And in truth, we can actually oftentimes cause more harm to another person by trying to protect them. I see this over and over and over again. We try to not hurt somebody. What ends up happening is we get out of alignment with ourselves. We stop speaking their truth. We're afraid of their emotions. We get into our own shiz. And so we're afraid of our own emotions. We're afraid of their emotions. And so we're not stepping into authenticity. We're not stepping into real communication, which is the key. Because if we're going to live a truly wholehearted relationship, whatever the matter of that relationship is, there has to be good communication. There has to be good communication. But to go into life and go, I'm not going to do any harm, is not the case. And your definition of no harm and my definition of no harm is going to be incredibly different. Incredibly different. And something you could mean as helpful could actually come across to the other person as harmful. And so this is where that beautiful communication and connecting with whoever it is important in your world. So take off the pressure of doing no harm, but also check in with your ego, check in with your heart space in order to create the most loving relationships. And if you're leaving a relationship, if you're breaking up, this doesn't mean that that person is necessarily becomes the enemy. And so keeping that in mind too. And I've done some live streams on breakups and how they can actually be amazing. My last big breakup was actually beautiful. It was such a beautiful experience in just separating without the drama, the trauma, the blaming of each other. And so it is possible to do this. And at the end of the day, it's about staying heart-centered and knowing your intentions, checking your energy, checking your ego. So, because you will do harm, and that is the reality of relationships. And that's sometimes how we grow and expand and heal and grow a relationship. So yeah. On another note, I have my Wildly Orgasmic Woman program that I put out yesterday. So go to addisonbell.net, check that out, or you can go in the link section. I will add that link once I get off the stream, and go check it out, ladies. It is a 4-week course. We are going to up-level our sex, up-level our orgasm in all manners of orgasm, and it is a super low price that is not going to stay here very long. So go check that out. Other than that, I hope you beautiful followers have an amazing rest of your day. Go grab that fire within, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another Addison Unleashed. Love you guys. Bye.